It's time to uplift and amplify the voices that shape our world.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Loss, and I am back with another episode of the Horizons Author Lounge, and this is the second to last episode of the year. That's right, 2025 is coming to an end. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness, this year has gone by so fast. So much has happened, but you know what? We are blessed. I know a lot has happened this year. Some great things have happened, some not so great things have happened, but we are blessed. And I am blessed because I have two amazing guests tonight that I cannot wait to talk with. So right now, without any further ado, I am going to bring on our very first guest, Miss Kathryn Carter. And how are you doing tonight?
I am wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And welcome to the Horizons Author Lounge.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad that I had a chance to meet you in person in Philadelphia. I don't know if you remember at the Indie Author event.
Yeah, that was so cool. I remember that Richard Ashby, first of all, I love him. He's my brother from another mother.
Yes.
Yeah, he got on the microphone and said, does anybody want to be on a podcast? And he said, you need to come meet Dr. Rhonda. And all of a sudden, it's like this sea of people came toward me. I was like, oh, okay, let's do this. So I was just really excited to see so many people just interested in raising their platforms. And I'm really happy to that you were one of the people who came over.
Yes. It's a blessing.
Well, it's a blessing to have you here. So without any further ado, tell everybody, who is Kathryn Carter?
So I am Kathryn Carter, also known as KP Carter, and I am the world's only readologist.
Yeah.
And you might be wondering, what is a readologist?
Yeah, because I was wondering too when I first saw that term.
Yeah. So I have over 35 years in education. I have been a classroom teacher, certified reading specialist, and I was responsible for language arts and testing for K-12. And through those experiences, I understand what it takes to help a child become a reader. I specialize in helping them to develop and grow their literacy skills. So I'm very unique in that way that I can really tap into what a child's needs are and meet them.
Now you have a very interesting term. I don't know if you coined this term, but a Rockstar Reader University?
Yes, I did coin that term. My Rockstar Reader University. So for many years, I was a tutor. I tutored children and I worked with them, alongside of my regular career of going to work every day. And so over the years, I developed this idea that this can be broader, this can be bigger. And so I still am a consultant, but I am a literacy coach for children. And
Love
in
that.
the university, I work with them, I work with parents, and I work with schools. And all of that is under the Rockstar Reader University umbrella.
Well, I tell you, I'm a literacy advocate. I love promoting literacy. That is the total bedrock of my company, Meet the World Image Solutions, and it's the reason why I started the Black History Month Literary Weekend, because my whole goal was to make reading fun again. I remember growing up when we used to have reading challenges where pizza parties, or we could earn money by
Yeah.
reading books. The more books we read, the more money we could earn, or
Yeah.
we could get pizza parties for our classroom if we read the most books. And which was right up my alley because I loved reading books anyway. I would forego going outside because I wanted to be inside reading a book.
Yes.
And right now, it's not that kids don't like reading anymore. It's just that there's so much competition when it
There's
comes to reading.
exactly. There's so many distractions, and there is research on the fact that even adults, the amount of people who read for pleasure is
Mhm.
declining.
Yeah.
So if the adults that you see are not reading for pleasure, a child is not going to be inclined to read for pleasure either. So we have to do what we need to do to bring that back. And I help bring that message to parents so that they understand they're the reading role model.
Right, because our kids do what they see us doing. And
Exactly.
if they see us enjoying a book, they will enjoy a book.
They will. And it's something about turning the pages.
Yeah.
Now, audiobooks are great. Matter of fact, I've done an audiobook for the third book that's coming out. And ebooks are great, but there's something about holding that book in your hand that I think it touches something in your brain that really helps your nervous system to just calm down. And then you could just be taken away.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a flex. I take the commuter bus to work in the mornings, and it's different when I look around and see everybody playing on their phones.
Yeah.
I pull out my book and I sit back reading my book, and I'm the only one on the book on the bus reading my book. I feel kind of special.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong, I'm an audiobook girly. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm an audiobook girly. When
Yeah.
I actually don't mind driving by myself. If I have to go somewhere, my mom doesn't like me going places by myself. And she's like, "Do you need me to go with you?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine." And the reason why I'm fine is because I live in the DC area. Everywhere we go is an hour away.
Right.
I like to go places by myself because I can listen to an audiobook. I don't have to worry about having a conversation because I can listen to my audiobook.
Yeah.
And or when I'm exercising, I listen to an audiobook.
Mhm.
I enjoy that. So that's my thing. And with my schedule the way it is, that's sometimes the only way I can get reading in. But you're
Yeah.
right in that sometimes it just feels good to just pick up a book and just turn the pages
Yeah.
and just take in the story and experience the story that way.
Mhm. And that has the power to bring joy back to children,
Yes.
because they get that feeling, and there's nothing like it, especially when you help a child find a book that's just right for them. People always say, well, my child hates reading, or I can't find a book. Well, it's just that you haven't found the right book for them yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do think that sometimes we think that our kid doesn't like reading because they may not want to read the books that we like. But
Exactly.
sometimes we just have to find the books that match their interests.
That's the thing. And it's not difficult to match their interest. But that means you have to have conversation with your child. And you have
That's
to
true.
really get into what makes your child tick.
That's true. I mean, and that means actually sitting down and having a conversation with them.
Having a conversation. Yes. Having a conversation.
So, now, what is your technique in getting through to kids? Because, as we were just saying, there's a lot of competition when it
Yeah.
comes to reading. We're in this microwave society right now where everything has to happen now. Everybody's busy right now.
Mhm.
Everybody has a side hustle. Everybody's doing a lot of different things, and that is actually being passed on to our kids. You know, we're doing 50 million things, so we feel like our kids should be doing 50 million things. We're seeing now that, oh, my child has two businesses now. And
Yeah.
we're thinking, we're thinking that now our kids are more advanced if they have businesses. And so we're not giving them that space and opportunity to read. So how do you work through that?
So what I do is take time. And the children that I work with, either if I'm with them virtually or if I'm in person, I give them time to just face-to-face talk with me. And I give them an interest inventory and I ask them things like, what's your favorite color? What, if you could go anywhere on vacation, where would you go?
Mm-hmm.
And listening to children, because they love to talk. After all these years, I have never met a child that did not like to talk, given the opportunity to talk. So it's really taking time to listen and letting them know that they matter, letting
Yes,
them know, showing them that you're interested in them and you want the best for them.
I love that.
And that takes time to build that up. And it's a challenge to do it when you're in the classroom, but I managed to do it. I did manage to do it. Now, granted, when I was in the classroom, the demands were not as high as they are now. But I've had classrooms where I've had 25 kids, 30 kids.
And
And
what
I
grade are you teaching?
so I taught a lot of grades, but my sweet spot was fourth grade.
Okay.
My sweet spot.
Why
But
was that your sweet spot?
there's something about a fourth grader. They're not babies anymore, and they're not acting grown quite yet. And they just are so special to me. Fourth graders are. I tried kindergarten. That was just a little too needy for me. And I've taught eighth grade. I've taught high school. I was an adjunct professor at community college in New York. And so I've done various grades. But like I say, my sweet spot is fourth grade.
Love that. Love that. Now, I know that you are a literacy advocate, but you have also written books.
Yes.
And so do
Yes.
you have any of your books with you right now?
So I do. So these are my books here on the shelf.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah,
Yes.
these are my books. So this is the Lizzie B series. I'm so proud because it's now a trilogy. This book is going to launch this weekend. So this is book one. This is, I write historical fiction for ages 8 to 12.
I love that.
Yeah. So this book happened to, I won an award, the Black Authors Matter Award.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes. So this is about growing up in Newark, New Jersey during the 1960s, and it takes place during the summer of the 1967 unrest. Some people call it a riot. Some people call it a revolution. Some people call it a rebellion. But I wanted children to see what life was like during that time and help them make connections between then and now, and to see that families were loving and adults just wanted the kids to be safe. And so I wanted to bring that experience for them. And this is book one. And then book two is Lizzie B and the Great Camp Caper. And now she's off to Girl Scout camp for 2 weeks, sleepaway camp. And she happens to get in the cabin with a bully. and
Oh,
she
wow.
didn't get lost on an overnight hike. So it's helping children understand not just the time period, but learning how to manage emotions, learning how to get along with people who don't necessarily like you. What do you
Yes.
do? How do you problem solve? And then this is my new baby, Lizzie B. Hayes, on a mission. This is in 1970. Trying to hold it
Okay.
so it's not shiny. But anyway,
It's okay. I can see it.
this takes place in Newark in 1970. And if you know anything about history, that was the year that the first Black mayor was elected. So
Okay.
that is the political background that's going on. But now she's 12. She's off to junior high school and she's on a mission. She actually has two missions. One of them is to get on the basketball team because she's a great athlete and a wonderful student. But she has another mission as well. And I'm looking forward to kids reading this and getting excited about it. And I'm having a big book launch party this coming Saturday.
Nice.
Yes, so these are my babies.
So how do you choose which time in history you want to highlight in your books?
I think about what time in history affected me the most.
Wow. Okay.
And affected my community because I was raised in Newark, New Jersey. And so there was so many things going on, and all of what happened is a part of who I am. So I want to share that with children. And there aren't that many books about what the civil rights period was like in the North. There are a lot of books about that in the South, but not in the North. So
yeah, I think that people, I hate to say it, but people think of the civil rights movement the same way they think of slavery. And so when they think of slavery, they think of let's go to the North. We're free in the North. And so when they think of the civil rights movement, they think of all of the racism was only happening in the South and that they were free in the North. Everything was okay in the North. And they
yes,
forget that there were things that were still going on in the North.
so much, a lot. And so I try to write in a way that is not like jamming it down a child's throat, writing
Yeah,
in a way that they can see themselves and understand.
that makes a lot of sense. And
Mhm.
and I like I said, I think it's so needed because like I think sometimes we have a warped sense of history, and there's still so much about our history that we don't even know or we don't even realize.
We don't know, we don't realize. And this is why these kinds of stories are so important because, as you know, there are forces out there that are trying to erase our history. So if we don't tell these stories, put these stories out there, and bring them to children.
Right. So now you're also a TEDx speaker. Is
Yes.
this what you speak about on your TEDx platform?
Yes, on that was that was a mountaintop experience to be a TEDx speaker. Uh, I spoke about what it takes to motivate a child to read. And so I talked about the things that hinder a child from reading, the things that can happen if we don't take a stand and make sure that they do learn how to read. What are the consequences of that? Well, a lot is self-esteem goes in the down. Parents are faced with having to, gee, am I going to have to take care of this child for the rest of my life because they can't manage in the world? And so I said that you could just do one thing. Just one thing. And I gave some 5 examples of what you could do. One of them is just read to a child, show an interest in a child, take a child to the library. Things like volunteer for an adult literacy program.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is, I encouraged my daughter to read a lot. when she was young. I used to read to her. I would do, even on days when I didn't read to her, I used to do the books on tape. So I would play the book for her, so she
Yes,
would still have those stories. And when she got older, she wanted to do her own thing and she wasn't reading as much, but she came right back to it because she had that foundation. And
exactly.
so I say that to say that there may be times when your kids may kind of stray away from reading, or you may not feel like they're reading as much as they used to. But
Mhm.
if you've established that foundation, I don't believe that they're going to stray so far away that they're not going to come back to it.
Yes, because they'll grow in life and they'll see the value of it. But it's so important to do what you can while they're young because you're building that, helping them to build that muscle.
Yes.
And it's funny, you should say you spoke about reading to your child. I have sons, and I was a mother who did the most. I was reading to them all the time, and they went through a period of time where they didn't want to deal with books. They were like, enough already. But now, as full grown adults, and once they went to college, they saw the value of it. Yeah. But
Love that. See, and they went to college. I mean, reading does not just mean that, okay, I'm just gonna sit in a corner and read a book all the time. It
right.
becomes the foundation to so many other things. It makes you a better writer, it makes you a more critical thinker. It gets you into, it opens so many more doors to so many different things,
So
world.
many different things, and not just um, to be able to go out and get the best job. It
Yeah.
gives you witty ideas to develop your own skills and become an entrepreneur. But you have to reading is at the basis of everything. I'm all for STEM and STEAM and all of that wonderfulness, but you have to be able to read and communicate and think and problem solve.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we have a couple minutes left. What would you like to leave the audience with?
My What I would really want folks to know is that you can make a difference in a child's life. Even if you have children who are struggling or having challenges, you can make a difference. You have to advocate and you have to take the time, and you can do it. It does take time, but you can do it because the rewards are so great. And I just want to encourage people to do what they can to support their children, whether they're in public school, private school, if you're homeschooling. Take the time to to help a child become a competent, confident reader, because they're the future. I used to tell my students, I have to do my best for you because when I'm old in a wheelchair, you're going to be in charge. You're going to be
I know that's right.
yes,
Because I thought it was gonna be taking care of me. She may not realize it yet, but she's gonna be taking care of me.
yes, yes, indeed.
So now tell us, where can we find your books?
So my books, as an indie author, I always look for folks to purchase my books on my website, kpcarterwrites.com, but they are also available on Amazon and Ingram Spark and barnesandnoble.com. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, KP Writes. I appreciate you being on the show. I really, really, really enjoyed our conversation.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you, no, go ahead.
I'm just thanking you for having me, and I'm grateful to be on your platform and looking into more of your products and services.
Oh, absolutely. And if there's any way I can support, please just say the word.
I will. I will. Oh, and by the way, can I say that this Saturday, if you're in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, I'm having a wonderful book launch party at Kokomo's Coffee House on the campus of Johnson C. Smith University, which is my alma mater. And it's going to be 1 to 2:30.
You better tell the people. All right. If you are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, please go out to Johnson C. Smith University on Saturday and go get your copy of Kathryn Carter, KP Wright's brand new book.
Yes.
And tell us the time once more, please.
1 to 2:30. And it's free parking. It's a free event. Just come and have fun.
All right. Free parking, free event, but buy the book and leave a review. Okay.
Yes, that part.
All right. Once again, Kathryn Carter, thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening. May God bless everything you do, and best wishes on your book signing this weekend.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, y'all. That was Kathryn Carter. And great conversation. I'm telling you, I could talk all day about promoting literacy and celebrating literacy. It's just something that I love. Now, you might have seen the promos that I played at the beginning of the show. There are, what is today? Today is December 8th. So we have 7 more days for you to vote for your favorite author for the For the Culture Book Awards. And I'm telling you, it is a tight competition. We have almost 1,000 votes in. You guys have been turning out for your favorite authors. I have no idea who the top 5 are. I do know that you need to be going every day to the site. The site is on the screen right now. It is in the chat. You need to be going to the site and voting for your favorite author. If you would like to be a judge for the Horticulture Book Awards, you get to read all of these books for free, and you get to support these authors. Just contact me and let me know, and I will give you some more details. But right now, vote for these authors because they are doing an amazing job. Their books are so awesome, and it's gonna be a tight competition. That's all I gotta say. So make sure you're going to my website, www.mtwimagesolutions.com/contest-2025, and click on the link. Go in and vote for your favorite author. You can go in every day and vote for your favorite author, and the authors with the top votes will make the top 5. But it does not mean that will be your winner. That is only a percentage of the top score. Then we're still going to be voting for editing quality. We're going to be voting for culture quality. We're going to be voting for book cover. There's so much more that's involved in this. This is a full circle contest. So this is not a popularity contest by any means. This is about writing. This is about the culture. This is about the art. So, but it is very important that you vote for your favorite author, so that way your author will be in that number. So, for the Culture Book Awards, this is our 2nd annual. I love this contest, and I can just see this contest growing more and more and more, and it's going to become more and more powerful because these authors take this contest so seriously, and it just does my heart good just to see the caliber of authors who are in this contest. So thank you to everybody who has supported this contest and who's a part of this contest. But now, without any further ado, I'm going to bring on our 2nd guest for tonight, Miss Tonya McCleary. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am wonderful as well. It's really great to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It was really nice to meet you.
It is nice meeting you as well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I think this is actually our first time meeting, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Man. So, well, tell the audience and tell me as well.
Yes.
Who is Tonya McCleary?
Tonya McCleary. What am I? I am.
I do know you're in the Baltimore area.
I do live in the Baltimore area. I am. I work. I'm in clergy. I'm a minister. I am an author this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the people. I love people. I'm a servant. Um, and I just love people. I love people and I love to serve God and I love to do all that He has purposed me to do.
Oh, amen. I love that. And I love people who love and sit in their purpose and move in their purpose. So I know I'm going to enjoy this conversation. So do
Amen.
you have your book with you?
I do have my book with
Yay!
me. This is my book. This is
Beautiful cover.
Thank you, thank you. It was actually designed by my sister.
Okay.
Mhm. And it's called The Gift of Wholeness. And I wrote this book. It was actually something God placed on my heart about 7 years ago. And what actually ended up happening was I did a workshop for a friend at his church. It was women's season, and he wanted me to come in and do Lord Make Me Over.
Okay.
And so what I did was I'm also a Mary Kay consultant. I've been a Mary Kay consultant for over 20 years, 20, 30 years. So what I ended up doing was taking the regular regimen of a skincare class and aligning it with the spiritual principles of making over your soul and your spirit. And so at that time, it was just a workshop, honestly. And when I did the workshop, I was actually on my way out of town. I did the workshop for him on my way out of town. And at that night, at the end of that, he spoke into my spirit, God wants you to write a book. Well, at that point in time, I was like, no, I'm not a writer. I barely like to read sometimes. That is not happening. But just over time, over the years, I continued to grow and see my own brokenness and where I needed to strengthen myself and where I needed to allow God to come in and heal me in different areas, the book came about. And this past year, I actually ended up having a knee replacement surgery. So if anyone knows anything about that, you're sitting still for weeks and months.
Yes.
And so in that being still, in that season of being still, is when God actually I actually still had the original PowerPoint from 7 years ago when I did this workshop, and I took the original PowerPoint and I just allowed God to use me and to start writing this book from a place of as he had begun to heal me. One of the things I love about it is that wholeness and healing is never an ending. There's no ending. It's a circle. We just get whole, we get healed, and we just move into a higher place and a higher journey with God. And as we heal those areas, God shows us up different places where we're broken, where he wants to come in and fix us and help us to be able to meet us where we are so that we can be guided in his purpose and do what he calls us to do.
Now, do you think that sometimes people who are in that situation, who may be broken, who need to read this book, maybe they're not in a place to feel that this book is for them. They might think that this concept seems just a little too lofty for them to understand almost.
And I get that, and I completely understand that. I do understand and think that this book is for whoever wants it. It could be a female, it could be a male, it could be a young person. And it's one of those books you can read one time and you can come back and you can read it at 5 years later, and you can get something completely different based on where you are in your life and in your walk with God. And if you don't feel that you need it right now, then you're not going to purchase it. But if someone gives it to you, you may even put it on the bookshelf until God puts it in your spirit to go forth and use it or work it.
They're going to reach for that book when God puts it on their heart and they feel that they're ready. So when they get the book, it may not be time for them to read it yet.
Exactly.
I love
and we all go through different stages in our walk with God. And in doing that, we have to be open to be able to receive and see ourselves the way God sees us in order to be able to start that healing. Because we all go through, life happens. Let's just be real. Life happens. And because life happens, because the enemy is trying to keep us and separate us from God, we have to understand that there are places in our hearts and things that we've experienced that has left us broken, but we don't want to stay in that broken state, because God calls us to wholeness. He calls us to commune with him and be with him. And I had to deal with some real issues. I had to deal with the fact that I didn't have a lot of self-esteem because, growing up, I was picked on. I was, called names or called out of my name. And so therefore, because I didn't deal with that stuff, in my young adult, it piled up. And it wasn't until I started to realize that I wasn't those things other people called me. I was who God called me. Then my courage started. Then my confidence came back. Then I began to walk in my purpose and not rely on others to give me purpose.
And the sad part about it is that there are adults who will look at another adult and say, well, you should be over that by now. Yeah, you were picked on as a kid, but you're an adult now and you should get over that. But if you were not given the tools to get over it as a child, or if you never learned how to get over it, or maybe you were still dealing with it as you were getting older, you're not just going to get over it. Just because you got older does not mean a magic spell happened and all of a sudden everything that happened in your childhood just goes away.
You're absolutely right. And through this process, one of the things that I have done is my logo or my branding is called embrace and emerge, because we have to embrace who we are right now in order to emerge into who God is calling us. We have to embrace those places that hurt. We have to embrace those not so pretty things about us in order to emerge and to walk in purpose. But until we begin to embrace those things, then we can't walk in purpose. I used to think that I used to avoid conflict. I never wanted anything that, to deal with bad stuff, or I would go the other direction until I began to understand that conflict is really nothing but allowing yourself to embrace things that are different so that you can see things differently, so that you can emerge or into something else.
Yes. Yeah.
So once I put the fear away, I began to open myself up to see things a lot differently.
Oh man, I tell you, I love that. I think we're kindred spirits in some way. Because I grew up similarly, where I felt like I was picked on, or because I was different from many of the people I went to school with. Mm-hmm. Instead of celebrating the difference, I was picked on because of the difference, which made me ashamed of the difference. Mm-hmm. I grew up overseas, and which should be something I should have been proud of. Yeah. But I was ashamed of it because everybody picked on the fact that I grew up in Italy, instead of saying, wow, that's cool. You lived in Italy? They come, oh, that little Italy girl. And they made fun of that. I'm like, oh wow. Yeah. So but and I'm like, well, why are you making fun of me? And I didn't know how to deal with that. Right. So I had to learn how to deal with that as I got older. Now that I'm older, hey, I'm proud of my experiences growing up overseas, but I wish I could have celebrated that when I was younger, Right. Yes.
And the fact is, when we're younger, we don't understand that we are called to be different. We are called, not to be in this world, but, of the world, and to make an impact and change it based on the principles in which God has given us. So, we have to grow up some too. With that, we have to learn. And as we learn it and embrace it, we begin to understand, what, God made me different for a reason. And I need to be proud of that. And so, Yeah,
so now you've taken this book and you're pretty much building a platform with it. So you have a course that you're developing?
I do. I actually have several courses, and it's interesting because I have had the honor. God has put things in place where I have had an opportunity to speak in different venues, and each venue has been different, and each venue has developed a workshop or a course for It's on different levels. So I've done one couple last month called Grow and Glow for young adults in college.
I love that. I love the name.
Thank you. And so, grow where you are and glow and allow God to use you. So God is really showing me that it's not just about the book, but it's more about the message. And the message can be read on so many different levels. And that's, what we're here to do. We're here to give the good news. It's definitely a couple of courses. The Glow and Grow one, we have the Soul course, and all it does, the basic principles, is taking the everyday regimen of a skincare. Every day, I talk about this in my book. When things were going crazy in the world, I did the same thing every day. In the morning, I got up, I washed my face, I cleansed my face, I exfoliated, I put my moisturizer on. And at the end of the day, I did the same thing. And so what God began to show me is that this is the same thing, same type of care we take for our physical, we have to take care of for our soul. And when we begin to do that, when we begin to understand that we have to intentionally take care of our soul and go through these steps, then we begin to understand and walk in the greatness of God. We begin to be able to deal with the things that are coming at us every day. When we leave our house, we begin to be able to deal with the negativeness around us, even in a climate that we're living in now. We don't buy into what's going on because we serve a higher power. We serve a higher God. And because we serve a higher God, we're going to thrive no matter what situation is, because God is going to take care of us. But when we as women particularly begin to take care of our souls, it empowers us to take care of everything else around us. It empowers us to be able to take care of the household, be able to take care of the family, be able to go to work and be stars at work no matter what situation we're in. That's what it does. And so God has given me the confidence, the ability, this is what I've given you. And if you had told me 7 years ago when I did this one little workshop for a friend that he would do this book, that he would develop this into my testimony, because my self-confidence was not there. I was very insecure. I was very aware. I was always thinking, how does other people see me? But God was like, that's not what I called you to. You're perfect in the way that I called you. And as long as you know that I got you, you are good. And so I want others to understand the same thing. I want people to walk in their own power. I want them to know who God has called them to be. Because when we do that, that's when we begin to glow no matter what's going on around us. That's when we begin to walk in God's authority. That's when we begin to be who God has called us to be. And there's no greater satisfaction than that, empowering women to be who God has called them to be. And God has blessed me and my husband to also, start a nonprofit. And in the nonprofit, and in the nonprofit, it's 3 years old now, so we're still in a lot of the beginning stages. But because my husband and I married late, so we've been married now 5 years. And so we've lived a whole life before we met each other. And in that, the nonprofit is really, it's a identity of who we are. We serve veterans, women, and children. My husband is a coach in the Baltimore area, and that he absolutely loves. I serve the youth and young adults at my church. Women is one of the things that I learned getting married at an older age, is that everything I knew before I got married didn't work anymore. And nobody warned me. Nobody told me that I would have to think completely different. So how do we empower women? How do we help women, move to that next level, whether it's through entrepreneurship, unless it's through just daily, everyday task. And veterans, my husband is a veteran, he's a Navy vet. And so we started doing this by providing blessing bags, depending upon what the situation is, but blessing bags, just everyday essentials that people need. And I find now that more people need the everyday essentials than even when we started 3 years ago.
Well, Well, you all are doing a lot over in Baltimore. We have to come up the street and see what y'all got going on.
Just want to be an impact, At one time in my life, I didn't have anywhere to live. I'm not saying I was homeless like you would think normal homeless, but I didn't have a roof over my head. I had to share with family and friends, and same with my husband. And so we just want to give back, we laugh a lot of times. We say, in this stage in our lives, we're thriving. We're not just surviving. And because God has blessed us to survive, to thrive in this, it's time for us to give back to those who need it, who need help now.
All right, I gotta make you laugh. You watch Real Housewives of Potomac?
Not on a consistent basis.
Okay, because that's the song that Ashley Darby sings all the time. She sings that song, "Thriving and Surviving" or something like that. It's
no, I didn't know.
It's a song that I guess she wrote it. So she's always thriving and surviving. So when you said that, it just made me think of that, and I had to smile a little bit. I didn't want you to think that I was laughing at you. But no, I love that, and I love how you've been blessed. So now you want to be a blessing to other people, and so I think that's something that we all should do. Our blessings are not just for us to keep to ourselves. We're blessed so we can be a blessing to others.
Right.
So I love the fact that that's what you're doing. And that's why I said I might have to come up the street and see what y'all are doing up here. I'm not that far.
Well, you are welcome to come hang out and visit. We love
I'm only an hour away. Don't tempt me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you probably didn't know I was just down the street from you.
I didn't. I have no idea where you're located.
I'm right outside of DC.
Oh, okay. Near Potomac?
No, I'm not in Potomac.
Okay.
No, I'm in Akakeek. It's right right by the National Harbor. Right about 15 minutes from the National Harbor.
Okay, so we're local, DMV area.
So how did we meet each other? How'd you find out about the show?
Honestly, it was all my sister. She has been my rock. She has really been my rock through this entire thing, because I have no idea what I was doing. And she did the book cover. She has acted as my publicist. She's on my website. When she finds stuff, I really am not. Yeah.
How do I know your sister?
I don't. I don't. I think she came across it working with someone else and with some stuff, but I'm just not 100% sure, so I don't want to say. But yeah.
But you know what? Just tell her I said thank you, and if she knows any other authors, send them my way, because this is what we do.
Yes, it is. She's like, you have an engagement on this day. I was like, okay.
I love that. I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely been. She's been my blessing. She's my rock.
But I think that's awesome though. When you have people who believe in what you're doing so much that they're going to go that extra mile for you, that's a blessing in and of itself, because not everybody has that. There are people who they're the only people who believe in what they're doing.
Yes.
And they don't have family who depend, or their family saying that's great what you're doing, but that's all they get is that thumbs up. They don't get anything else. But the fact that you have a sister who believes in what you're doing and is helping you along the way, that's a beautiful thing. So I hope you don't take that lightly.
I don't take it lightly. I have an awesome support team between my sister. I have some great girlfriends. My husband is my rock also. But yeah, I don't take it lightly, because I know that, and that makes me even rest assured that I know that this is all God, because God puts people in your place in your life to help promote Him and to do His work. And this is definitely not about me. This is really about supporting women, and not just women, because I'm telling you, when I went to the college campus last month, I was surprised at these young people. I hadn't been on a college campus in, of course, like some years, but it just made me I realize that it's just not contained to women. Yes, that's the focal point, but the message is universal to everybody. Men
Yes.
can have this book because we all have pieces of our lives that we need to heal, and we want to be whole because we want to bring our best self, not just to ourselves, but to our marriages, to our families, to our workplaces. We want to be our best 100% selves. And we owe it not just to them, but we owe it to us. We owe it to
Yes.
ourselves.
Beautiful. So now how can people reach out to you? So maybe they might want to purchase the book, maybe they want to support your foundation, or maybe they want to participate in your courses. How can they reach out?
So I have a website for my book. It's called Tonya A McCleary .com. That's it. And so you can purchase the book on Amazon. And I was listening, and I had listened, and I was like, oh, I need to do some research with some other outlets. So thank you for doing this broadcast so that, it gives us information, because I'm very new to all of this. And so if I can learn, if I can, do anything, I will do that. For our foundation is called the McCleary Foundations.org. And that's where you can find out more information about the foundation, what we're doing, and how we're moving. So those are how you can find me. Our courses, it is online, and they'll be posted soon, but definitely I've done in-person visits. I have one coming up this Saturday, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with the great ladies of First AME Manassas, where we're doing a women's Bible study on Created for Wholeness. And so I'm excited. This will be one of my last events for this year, for 2025. And I've just been blessed. I'm blessed to be able to share the good news, to share how God has brought me, and that if he brought me this far, he can bring anybody.
Yes, yes. Now show us your book one more time.
I sure can.
Yes, beautiful cover. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you. The Gift of Wholeness.
The Gift of Wholeness. So everybody, please go out, support this book. It is on Amazon. So all you have to do is click the link. And if you go to Tonya's website, TonyaAMcCleary.com, you'll be able to find the book there. You can, and it'll take you to the Amazon link where you can purchase the book there.
Yes,
so let's make sure you not only purchase the book, but make sure you leave a review. I always remind people to leave a review for a book, because there are people who will not touch a book unless they have seen the review. So It's very important that we leave reviews. And plus, when you try to do more with the book, let's say you want to submit it for awards, or let's say you want to make it into a movie, or maybe you want to increase the platform, people are going to be looking for those reviews. So reviews are very important. So everybody who's read your book, tell them to go out and leave reviews. I tell people all the time, see, this is my newest book right here. And I tell people all the time.
I actually ordered it yesterday.
No. Yeah, I tell people all the time, I'm glad y'all love the book, but leave a review.
Leave a review. That's gonna be my new line, ma'am. Thank you. It's right.
Yes,
thank you.
Tell
Thank
them
you.
to leave a review.
Yes, I saw that. I love purchasing books so that we could support one another. We have to support one another.
Absolutely. And I will be purchasing yours as well. So thank you so much.
Well,
and congratulations on your new book.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so blessed to be able to meet you and to actually talk about this book and this platform. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
All right. And if you ever want to come back, just say the word.
Yes, ma'am. I surely will.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful evening and happy holidays to you.
You too. You too.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. We have reached the end of another Horizons Author Lounge. We have one more week, so join us next week, where we're going to be talking to some more authors. This will be our last episode of the year. Then we're going to go on a 2-week hiatus. And then we will be back in January, where you're going to start meeting the featured authors for the 2026 Black History Month Literary Weekend. It will be our 10th anniversary. You do not want to miss it. We will have 14 authors. 14. We have never featured that many authors during a Black History Month Literary Weekend. And we will be in New Orleans. And we will be awarding essay contest awards. And we will be awarding a $1,000 scholarship to a graduating senior. And we will be awarding the For the Culture Book Awards. So much going on. And we will have live music. And we will have the comedy show. And we will have Barnes & Noble book signing. And we will have a free writers workshop. And we will have a meet and greet. Oh, so much going on. We want to see you guys there. We want to see you in New Orleans. But you will hear more about it starting in January. So, but you can go ahead and start getting your tickets now. So I'm so excited. I hope you're excited too. God bless you guys. More to come. But that's all I have tonight, guys. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you. Happy holidays. I will see you next week. But first, I will see you tomorrow on the National Black Book Festival Facebook page for another episode of Black Authors Matter TV. Holla at you. Bye.